Good morning, Bix Weir, Roota.com with your morning horn of chaga. Yes, building up the immune system. You need to do that. Everybody needs to do that. I would highly suggest liposomal C, liposomal vitamin C. I take 3 grams plus a day. That's grams. So get the 1,000 milligram bottles and take 3 pills. Extra vitamin C and chaga mushrooms for cleaning out viruses. I'm sure there's a million other things to do. It's time for everybody to take stock of what the hell's going on and understand that this is not going to end. First of all, the economic problems that are coming and are here with China shut down, Asia shutting down, Europe's going to shut down, and the US is going to shut down. All your assets should be in your own possession by now. I've been screaming it for so long, I had no idea it would turn out this way. A pandemic, and then that's not it. There's more coming. Where this is the time of change. So just you gotta be ready to be mobile, to be able to be changed. Cryptos are great for mobility, by the way. And yes, gold and silver are amazing, but not for mobility. If they were freely traded, of course, they'd be amazing for mobility because it would only take like 100 ounces of silver for you to be a billionaire. But that's not the world we live in. And the world that we live in is 100% manipulated by the powers that be. Yes, Steve Mnuchin allowed the stock market to go down today to at least give a hint or a inkling that that people who watch the stock market keep saying, "Oh my God, it's not going down, but everything's going wrong in the world." Mnuchin had to do it. He had to let the stock market drop a little bit, which he did, down 900 points. A while ago, years ago, that used to be a huge drop, and now it's 2.9%. That's nothing. Bitcoin farts that in a day. But it's freaking everybody out, and they want to get out of their stocks, and they're not being allowed to, basically, because Mnuchin will click it up tomorrow, up the price, because it's all about perception, nothing about reality. All about perception, nothing about reality. But reality's hitting as they are starting to link the stock market plunge to the mounting virus fears. The fears have been there for a month. And pretty soon they're going to link, oh my God, the supply chain, globalization is over, probably for good. So don't get upset when you go to your Apple iPhone store and they don't have an iPhone next week and they don't come back. That's how crazy. iPhone parts, I put up on the private road and on Patreon a good expose on where parts and what countries iPhones are sourced from. It's over 180 countries that they get raw materials and parts and pieces and put them together, and most of it comes from China. But other countries are going to shut down as well. That's the problem with globalization, is that when one little part has a problem, everything shuts down. Don't forget, when you're manufacturing things like computers and iPhones and cars and anything, they source parts from all over the world. The just-in-time delivery system has shut down and is shutting down. This week will be a big week. Next week, bigger. The week after that, bigger. And pretty soon, people are going to figure out, shit, there's something really wrong. And that's when you want to have your assets in your own possession. Being mobile is important too. I might have to pull the trigger on RV sooner than I thought. So just be available, be ready, be stocked up. Nobody knows how all this is going to go down. We do know that when the understanding really hits the average everyday person, that things are changing and they will change forever. That's going to be a big moment. That's the freak out moment. So just keep an eye on that. All the banks are losing money, bleeding money right now. Heavily invested in Asia, and Asia has shut down. All the customers, small businesses, medium, large businesses are saying, oh, you got to give us a break because of the coronavirus, and the bank can't. They have to have everybody pay their bills on time because they use that to leverage up, and now they have to delever, and that's the problem. They're all going to be selling the same assets. When your broker says, "Oh, this is how you invest X% in stocks, X% in bonds, blah 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 blah," that's great going up because everybody buys the same crap. Coming down, it is the worst. The exit doors are tiny, and that's where we are. So, good luck, my friends. Silver price is being held. Gold price is being held. People have asked me, well, with the end of the industrialization, global industrialization, wouldn't that hurt the silver price? If it was freely traded, it probably would hurt a little bit, But silver is has a dual role as industrial and as a monetary metal. Obviously, the monetary metals should be going through the roof. The key is that silver's been price manipulated and suppressed for 150 years. So we don't know what the fair market value is. So no, it's not. And silver's also it's not going to go down because of industrialization because it's not freely traded now. We all know this. Silver is the Achilles heel of the banksters too. And as silver goes up, they lose about $1 billion for every dollar that silver goes up. And they can't get out of their short position. Ted Butler does a great job explaining. So yes, we will be seeing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 silver. I think at $100 silver, the market shut down. That's the other thing. In the RV crypto viewing guys data, it has markets freezing up. I think that is probably likely. If the big hits are coming, the big crashes are coming, they'd rather freeze up the markets and claim force majeure and then reopen the markets, maybe with something a little more sane like Veritasium, where you can track peer-to-peer transactions. I don't know. That's the lottery ticket. Who knows what's going on there? Nobody knows. And Reggie's not allowed to talk. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, my friends. But on that note, the freezing up of markets, Fidelity breaks for the second time in a week. Countless accounts showing zero balance. You think this is a little okay? Let's freak people out and see what happens, how they react. 1 week ago, when stocks were hitting all-time highs, as traders were blissfully ignoring all the same news that are sending markets crashing today, we reported that online brokerage Fidelity was true to its name. Well, broke, showing zero balances on countless accounts. At the time, we said that, quote, while we assume this pesky glitch will be resolved promptly, we should point out that if the markets were to ever again suffer a down day, and should investors wish to sell some of their holdings, this would be a convenient way to quickly and efficiently prevent that from happening. Little did we know this hypothesis would be tested just 3 days later, because as of Monday morning, with stocks crashing and the Dow on pace to wipe out all gains in 2020, Fidelity has once again gone dark, with the website barely working and with countless clients eager to put some hedging trades or at least get the hell out of Dodge, unable to do so because, as Fidelity helpfully informs them, they suddenly have zero balances in their possession. This is the internal plumbing freezing up. And remember, Fidelity is a huge holder of rehypothecated crap. And on that note, in the repo side, I've updated the private road repos for February 24th. Go check those out. Yes, over the weekend, they stealthily announced the FICC guarantee numbers, and it is a monster, bigger than I had expected. I expected it to be pretty big. Half of what they had to use on December 31st for January, because they report 15 days after, or supposed to 15 days after. But it was much bigger than that. So I think that will be the announcement come March 15th, how the Fed is going to hide what's going on in repo. It will be through the FICC guarantees, basically. It's a clearinghouse with no assets behind it. But the FICC is part of the DTCC, so there will be no problem with the rehypothecation of shares. Now, Fidelity, on the other hand, has a problem, because when you go in and make cash deposits into your account and say buy these stocks, they'll put them in your account, but they don't actually go out and buy them. So Fidelity has a huge problem, and all the brokerage houses have the same problem. They're all fractional reserve systems. So get ready for those to shut down. But the lies will continue out of this dude. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is optimistic about U.S.-UK trade deal. And he goes into, Trump had a big falling out. Let me see what, they're optimistic with London. We're optimistic about the deal with London. Boris Johnson and Trump had it out. I've heard personal accounts of the Trump tirades. You don't want to be at the end of one of those. He literally loses it. It's part of his negotiating strategy, but he literally loses it. And he did that to Boris Johnson over there. But the question about China, Trump and the administration are saying, yeah, we expect China to live up to their negotiated trade deal, phase one. Their other borders are shut. They're not going to live up to jack shit. Oh, but Mnuchin is the liar in chief for the Treasury. Let's see, right in here he says, it's the article before here. Washington still expects China to meet trade deal commitments despite outbreak. Are you insane? That guy is a huge liar, criminal, thief. And that's like the good things of what he does. Steve Mnuchin is a bad dude. It is not good. He's the computer programmer from Goldman Sachs, who is now the head of the Treasury. Every day he goes into the basement of the Treasury to their computer trading floor, clicks a mouse, and rigs the market. I would love to get that guy under oath and listen to him lie, put a lie detector on that joker. I'm very optimistic. That's what he says. It's Larry Summers' behavioral economics. You got to say things are great. That's why Trump always says, "Oh, economy is great, everything's great, everything's great," and then they lie about the numbers so that people believe it's great, so they continue to go on with the con. The problem with all this, you might say, "That's what's wrong with America doing great." It is no problem with it if it's based on sound fundamentals, which it is not. Our whole economy is based on a huge lie started in 1913 with the creation of the Federal Reserve because they found billions of ounces of gold in the Grand Canyon. I've proved it a billion times. I hope everybody understands that now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to roadtoroota.com. Right here. Go to roadtoroota.com. Go to the public page. And this is available for everyone. And watch this video, Golden Oldies to the Crypto Future. It explains what happened, how the lie started, and why we can't get out of the lie. Had they not lied originally in 1913 and told the world, not created the Federal Reserve, told the world about it, things would have settled out in a matter of years. But they decided to create this fantasy called unbacked fiat money and the fiat monetary system and the Federal Reserve System, and voila, you get a gigantic monster. Every year you rig the markets and hide the truth, you get farther and farther away from fair market value. That's where we are today. Whew, there's your update. I posted a discussion on the repo situation. I will be doing more of that on the private road and on Patreon. I would highly recommend people join the Patreon channel. There's 2 tiers of Patreon now. The first tier is $10. It covers, you get repo updates every day, and the second tier covers everything on video from the private road, as well as everything included in the $10. So the $25 membership is the Road Warrior Plus. It's new. And because people are saying, why can't we have a 6-month private road membership? So you're going to get most of the stuff, not the archives and not the Veritasium token or the silver coin, but you're going to get all the videos from the private road. Anyway, if you want to just not worry about month to month, hit subscribe today and join the private road. You get 1 Veri token. That's your lottery ticket. Most likely it'll be 0, but if it's not 0, Veritasium will be the coin to own. And a silver Road to Roota coin, the coolest coin ever made. No, I don't sell them separately. people keep asking me, do you sell them separately? I give them out sometimes in when I play in concerts and when I speak, but I do not sell them outside of the private road membership. It keeps the scarcity alive, and we all love scarcity when it comes to holding assets. Anyway, this is Bix, roadtoRoota.com. Talk to you later.